Welcome to Taking Damage in Blueprint. In this lecture, we are going to be looking at how we can transfer that damage system that we've done in Battletank over into Blueprint so that when I shoot at our lovely AI characters, at least I hit them enough times and damage their health. So surely, if my aim is not too bad, be able to do fairly soon. There you go. Now they basically depossess, stand motionless, and are effectively dead. Now in the next lecture after this, we'll also be doing the animation, but first things first, let's get the basics in place: damage causing and damage applying. I'll see you in there. So as promised in the last lecture, we are going to be trying to make our AI die in this lecture. Now, the way that I want to go to do this is not using exactly the same method as we did in the Battletank game. I want to show you a slightly different way so that you learn something slightly different. And the way we're going to be doing this is through the blueprints. So let's find said blueprints, go into Dynamic NPC. We're looking for the character under behavior. Let's open him up, and the damage system, as we know in Unreal, is there for us to use. We are going to be stupid if we don't use it. So I want to first off show you the components and then let you try and figure it out for yourself. So the first component is the any damage event in the character blueprint. So if you right click on the character blueprint, you can search for any damage, and there is an event, any damage, and sure enough, this gets fired when you take any damage on a particular actor. So that's the first key to the puzzle. The second key to the puzzle is going to be in the projectile itself. How do we cause any damage? Well, we're going to go up to Dynamic Weapons, FP Weapon Behavior, and the first person projectile. And here we are going to need two things. Firstly, to take a hit, so event hit, that's going to be the first bit, and the other bit is going to be apply damage, and particular apply point damage, because that damage is going to be at a particular location, and maybe later on we want to have the character take more damage when it's a headshot and so on. So that is the other component to the puzzle. Now, I'm going to let you basically fill in the rest. I'm sure you'll be able to do it because it's quite simple and all stuff you've done before, and Blueprint's going to be very explorable for you. So let's try it. Let's apply damage on hit. Let's take health in the character BP. Let's update it maybe from 100 down, and basically when we go below 0, I would like you to detach from the controller like we did. You don't have to do an event unlike in the tank. I think we can just detach safely from the controller right there in the character or in the pawn. So have a go at this challenge. Okay, welcome back. Let's do it. So first things first, this is pretty obvious. You can actually see that a lot of these pins match up with one another. So first things first, my damage actor, where am I going to take that from? Which one of these is an actor? Other is an actor. That's who we are hitting. Base damage, we can just put in a numerical value there. I'm going to say the base damage is 10. Hit from direction, that's going to be the hit normal rather than the hit impulse, because the impulse is going to go in the opposite direction to the hit normal. If you think about it, a normal usually points away, so that's why I'm choosing that. Hit info, well, that matches right up with that hit there. Damage causer, damage instigator, all that stuff is fine. Probably don't need that. There's a damage type class if you want to add more information to your damage, such as armor penetrating damage or so on, but we don't need to do that right now. And the final thing I'm going to do is destroy this projectile. That's something I didn't mention, but I think you might want to do if you're taking damage, to actually destroy the actor, the projectile actor, so it's not just bouncing around the scene. And let's go over to our character without further ado. Check that we are taking damage maybe first, so create a print. And let's say ouch if we are hit by damage. Compile and head on over to play. There you go, he's getting hit, he is saying ouch. Let's make it a bit more ouchy than that and detract from health. So first things first, we need to create a health variable. So I'm going to add a variable, call it health, change the variable type to being a float, and if I compile, then I'll be able to change its default value to 100. Go ahead, save that. That changes the map. Compile. And what do we do next? Well, we're going to subtract damage from the health. So let's get the health. And let's right click, get health. And subtract. So pulling off health, we'll do a minus sign. So float minus float, minus the damage. We're going to set that back in health. So set health to that. Pop it through to the execution pin. And then we're going to want to check if we're dead. Basically, at this point, we're going to be saying if, so a branch, take the condition from the branch, we're going to make it less than equal to float. And we're going to say if health is less than or equal to 0, then we'll branch off true, and we will depossess or detach. It's the right terminology. Detach from controller pending destroy. Yes, we've seen that before. We've used that in C++. Same thing in Blueprint. Let's hit play. And let's try and detach one of these controllers, stop them from moving. I managed to actually kill him without alerting him. There you go, he's stopped moving, which means he is dead. So congratulations, you've done that all by yourself. This is a relatively short lecture, but in the next lecture we're going to look at how we can take that death animation state and apply it so that they fall over and actually look dead rather than just standing there inert and motionless and uncontrolled by AI. So, well done again, and I'll see you in the next lecture.